playing Citizen Sleeper. It's a game I played almost a year ago now, I think, and it's a game about choices, but it's also just this very sort of like somber story. I won't obviously give it too much, but it's very good, and I really like it. And I thought, just because of what it is, it's a nice little story thing, and because I spent so much time setting stuff up, I ended up losing a lot of time. So I'm only going to stream for about an hour, which is less than an hour now. But hopefully we can make some good progress at the very least. I grabbed a controller, but I think this is best used with a... Hang on. No, we're good. So yeah, so there you go. I got to that far, cycle 20. So we'll start a new one. I was an operator for this one, the last one, I think. So yeah, so we'll play something a little different this time. So as you can see, there's a whole like skill thing. You got your skills set up and everything, and each one has a positive and one has a negative, and everything else is kind of like even. So because I went operator last time, what was that good with? Oh, it was to do with interfaces, but then my strength was really bad. We've got, so the extractors work on resource extraction often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extract work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. Sun-bathed dice action allows energy recovery at home. It's not too bad. Chance to gain random scrap item on engineer action. You know what? We'll be the machinist. I think the machinist, I guess, is also a way of saying that. Yeah, because we're good with things. We're just not very good at engaging. So we'll do that one. But yeah, so as far as I'm aware, you are on a space station. I don't know if you actually get off the space station. I never got that far. But I remember not too long ago when I started playing this was, I think the second one was announced, which I don't actually know if it's out yet, but I guess we'll see. It is loading. My face is covered. So, the first thing you become aware of when waking is the disconnect, the delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting, minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. So this is unknown where are you, so we don't know where we are right now. It's at its worst when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Think of that body off again. A leap into a cold lake on a hot day, the sting of blood welling from a fresh wound, the friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden, the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach, until you can't tell one from the other. Also, something I didn't mention as well, was that it's just me again today. Which is, which is fine. I like doing these. Which is why I wanted to do a slower one as well today. So playing this, it's nice just to kind of chill and gets me talking. Obviously talking about dialogue and stuff. So the cold slips in behind and around you, and the sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dull nature of this new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of the container feel immediately present. Cold, hard at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that your claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There's no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Remember the plan, remember the others. I felt like we're machinists, so we'll try and play into that role a little bit by playing something like that. You mostly remember that it wasn't a good plan, but then your options were limited. Once you got the itch to get out by any means possible, it was either that plan or something much worse. It was at least simple. Collapse the shaft, drift away in the chaos, slip into cargo processing, seal yourself into containers, then just hope the freighter left before you were missed. Some were lost in the shaft, others never found the meeting point, only a few made it to the containers. But the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough to know that you might no longer be on the grim and heartless rock, even if, in the airless hull of the freighter, you might free solid long before you reach any destination. Try to rest, but you are restless. It has been a long time since you left, surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of damage to your legs, your arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body is still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. Time passes, the cold creeps further in. So I think the kind of point of this as well is that you're supposed to be, you were once human, and now your consciousness is in a sort of mechanical body, so you're no longer flesh. You feel something. Warmth, not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound too, everywhere. Screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. Then light, white as the cold, softer and softer, until in a haze of dirty yellow, a figure appears. You are out. Alright, so yeah, so now we're on the space station. Simple as that. So, as you can glean from that start, something happened, which we escaped from a place, something happened, and now we're here. And the plan didn't go as according to, things didn't go according to plan, and now we're here, basically. And we are met by Dragos, a pragmatic and private salvager. It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swallowed in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life. You stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along the bare edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. So slow. All forge yet? Almost. Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames with better perseverance than Sub-Zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hold plates or inside-outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Okay. Buzz. Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech. His headset with its glinting eyes, the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches. Its irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare. Last living sleep that I came through the show was a while ago. It didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment. Perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. What happened to him? So, I plan to survive. You aren't sure if he hears you. I won't ask you to do. I won't ask what led you to do it, to save yourself to a corporation. And I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now. And you are just software. A rogue emulation illegally possessing capitalism. You're not alone. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you pad into the sleeper cells, the promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you have a now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You're no longer that person. You're an offshoot. A copy. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. S&R wants to protect their property, but if they can't keep hold of you, well, no one can. You remember that too. At least rumors of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence. I guess what it would be obsolescence is obsolete, isn't it? A built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them and your body, words, very difficult. Stop taking them and your body begins to shut down, separate from your emulated mind. How long is it be? How long do you have? But for now, sleeper, you're one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away towards the glassy dome of the yard. The eye is the best place you could be right now. The station. You'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight, like a I've got things to begin. He trails off. There's an old freight container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, as you're welcome to. Something wells up inside you. Emotion, fatigue. You shakily get to your feet. Nod. Alright, you head up there. You look like you need some rest. And with Drago storms back into the wrecks, his drones already converging on a rusting hulk. Plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. Dedicated to his work this one. Alright, cool. Welcome to the Erlen's Eye. Life in the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station, and to the empty container location to rest in the cycle now. So, this is our home. All cycles need to end, rest will come for the next one. So there is like very much a time kind of constraint on everything. So you kind of take the time to go about the day, do your things, time progresses, and then you go rest at the end. Simple as that. You wait curled up in the corner of the container, slowly assembling the world around you. After all the time you still find this body, when you awaken now, strange and disjointed, its messages readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the Milo blanket close against the cold. Here you are on this ruined station, millions of miles for anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Escape getting answers, building a life. Well, we already escaped, technically, so escape isn't really up there. I guess we'll get some answers. It all matters. The past is impossible to escape if it remains a blur. What S and R did to you cannot be forgotten. You need a way of understanding all this before you can move on. Where are you? What is this place? What happened to the others? The questions outnumber the answers. You want to change that, but you'll have to learn to survive first. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container. A blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electrical stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. Sorry, I couldn't read that word for a second. You thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images of your restless sleep come back to you. A ring, like the station, skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright, polygonal shapes, like angular suns burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long before you finish drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can, and try to gather enough energy to clear the day. 2 seconds. Just move some stuff around out of the way of the screen. Bear with me. Oh, itchy nose. What's these now? How loud it was on the other thing. Probably could barely hear me, which is, bad, because there's so much writing in this. Also, the sneeze disappeared, so, Alright, cool. So, condition. So, I believe at the top is our condition, and then these are kind of like our dice rolls for the day. So you kind of get like a bunch of dice rolls at the beginning of the day, and then you can use them to do things, and certain things require a certain number. And then you can't do that. So condition represents the current state of your physical body. It depletes by 1 segment each cycle, but can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you'll suffer a breakdown. Breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. So basically, how you stay alive is this corporation that owns this body give you the thing you need to keep you going. Because we've effectively escaped, we don't have access to that anymore. And that's kind of their way of keeping people in check, because they kind of need to rely on them. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current energy. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy is depleted by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you'll be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at a double rate per cycle. So yeah, so conditions at the top, those little like orangey kind of bars. Obviously the dice in the middle, and then our hunger or our energy is this one here. So yeah, it's cool. Let's go ahead and leave. Drago's standing in the corridor when you close up the container. He is still wearing the headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it is implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cache of sensory eyes rapidly irising. How are you feeling? Okay. Drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig is skin. His skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it will help you. It will keep you safe. It will help you safe. Good one. He pauses. So I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure. Alright then. He nods. At the yard, it's simple. We hack these old hulls down, sell them off to the shipyards or the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally we pull out some tech, something with a bit more value, but most of what comes in is scrap. Is there a salvager? You know? It's hard to find some good hands out here, but I figure as a sleeper you'll be used to the manual labor, and obviously I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn up. Got it. He shuffled his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on as quick as you can, and sleepers, well, trails off. But things being the way that they are for me at the yard, I need the help. Happy to. I'm not going to go too much into detail of this early stuff, just because we just keep it rolling. Okay, he pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard, and you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. Will do. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along behind him. See you later, he calls back. It looks like it's time to get to work. So we can go here to work, by the looks of it, which is great. So we've got 2 different actions here. So you can get safe and risky actions, right? So actions are the primary way to interact with the world of citizens. Sleeper to perform action, click and drag and chosen action display. Actions reward you with clock progress, energy condition, or items depending on their outcome. There are 3 types of outcome. This one, the action goes better than expected, the action succeeds, the action fails. And then these are the kind of like chances. So these higher ones are really good. Then obviously you get increased chance for it to be negative as you go down. So, which obviously isn't good. So let's continue. So yeah, so it says repeat action. Negative outcome means cryo or energy loss. Or risky, if I hit a negative on a risky, then I can use cryo or energy. I think cryo is the currency, I believe. And then if I hit a negative outcome on danger, it's condition loss, cryo, and energy loss. Neutral can be cryo and energy loss. So danger, obviously, we try and risky. But if we have good dice rolls ready, we can just use those on the risky ones, and then we guarantee the positive effect, right? So let's continue. So what we've got, we've got hull dissection. Even the rustiest hull can hide valuable components and materials. Extracting them means cutting carefully and skillfully. Or we've got manual salvage, which is it's going to take some time to sort and cut your way through the towers of the salvage, but you are no stranger to hard labor. And then what we've got is these kind of things here. So these are like additional conditions that you can kind of work towards. So every salvage knows you're always just one lucky haul away from their next payday. So basically, if I do these enough, this will fill up, and then I'll get like a bonus to fill it up. And it's that simple, really. And why is my phone going off so much? Nothing. Right. So because we've got some really good rolls already, so this is also a factor as well. Because we've got a +1 in our engineer skill. I don't remember if there's a way to look at that. Is there a way to look at it? No. But this is our current scenario as well. I think there was a way of like looking at your stuff, but I don't remember. But because we've got a +1 here, so it just adds +1 to the die. It's basically very standard like D&D rules, but obviously very, very basic in that regard. So we can just use one of our 6s here, it's 100% positive. Then if I were to use this, it would be 25% positive, 50% neutral, and 25% negative. So what we will do is we'll just use the 6 and start the action. And here we go. So progress the clock. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them, and they track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Drago's death, are cycle clocks. These clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. So yeah, so we got positive outcome back in business for this, so we got 2 for that, and we also got some cryo, and we also got some scrap components. So this is our inventory. So we've got 15 cryo, we've got some scrap components. Pretty cool. Right. Can I do this again? I can do this again. I don't know if it's worth using or wasting all of my guys on that though. Can I leave? I can't leave. So we can go. Oh. You unlock drives to discover more about yourself in the world. Drives guide you in pursuing specific objectives. Depending on which path you wish to take, you can track drives, and any tracked drive will place a yellow marker on locations that will help you pursue your goal. Access your drive menu via the arrow button. You are now free to explore. Try tracking your drive to help you survive. Look for food to keep your energy up and wait to recover condition. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities. Remember to end cycle at your home when you're out of dice. Use the mouse wheel to scroll for the station. Cool. So we can we've basically just been unleashed now, so we can do all of these things. So our objective currently is to find a doctor, and there's also to repay Dragos, which is to help pay off his debt, which was that other marker that we saw there before as well. So if we have enough money, I'm sure we can pay that off full. But we'll do the main sort of progress story now. Yeah, see, this has got like a thing. So this is progress every cycle. So we're going to go here, because this is where the objective is. Hellion Crossing. Merchants willing to run the gauntlet of the Hellion system are rare, but when they do, they always return eventually. So this is a cycle clock as well. So I forget, is this definitely this is also a cycle. Okay. I don't remember what like the yellow and the red means. Maybe they progress at different speeds. But obviously, I guess we'll find out as we play. So we've got this. So we've got the old deck terminal. And we've got some stuff we can do here as well, if we wanted to. We've got steel dock plans, which is danger, so very scary. Have an age security, yes, to have plans. Stealing them would be the fastest way to get to know this place and the most dangerous. And that's a danger. And obviously I've got -1 because that's an engage one, which obviously I need an -1 to engage. And then we've got explore the rotunda. The rotunda of the old dock is filled with passageways and concourses leading to all kinds of docking bays. And then we've got these as well. So getting to know the rotunda doesn't just mean new places to visit, it means keeping your eye on new arrivals too. So that it gives us this, which then will trigger a thing. And then we've got Haven Age watch list. Haven Age run the rotunda and the security watch the docks. Better to avoid attract their attention. So basically, it's saying if I do this too many times, I attract some attention that I don't want, so which is why it's like a negative. Then this is a plus because then it keeps me in the know of who's coming and going, in case there's like a special interaction or anything like that. So we are going to leave this for now though, because we've got this, which is again another place that people will come in. So this will be every 4 cycles by the looks of it. Alright, so let's head further up. So we've got the Bright Market. So we can ask for directions, which is very dangerous, and obviously we've got -1 to engage. So if I were to do this, if I show you, it puts -1, so it could be neutral, it could be positive. Why wander around? There are hundreds of people that live and work in the Bright Market. All you need is courage to approach them. And then obviously this allows us to explore more knowledge, as well as this one, which is just exploring. The smell, sounds, and buzzing activity of the Bright Market makes it a dizzying place to wander, but enticing one too. The Bright Market is the busiest part of the Eyes on the Rim. You can find anything and everything here. So it's good to kind of know some of these things as well, because then I can go, oh, well, I can discover places that I can use, right? Because bear in mind, we also need to find places to eat. We need to find things to recover ourselves and things like that. So if I were to do this, there's a 25% chance it's negative, which means I lose cryo and items potentially, and condition, I think. So we will leave that for a moment, and we'll keep looking up here. So we've got low end gate, passes into low end. So this is just a toll, I need to pay for 60, so I can't do that. So yeah, so I think for the time being, we will just explore, I think. So we'll do that, just to do the full positive. that gives us 2 progress and 2 local knowledge. So we can do it again, which I think is fine. It's entirely possible we get a negative here, but we'll see how we do. Nice. So it's a neutral outcome, so we've got +1 to knowledge. Cool. So we can't interact with these anymore, because we just finished that. So if we come out of here, it should open up this. So we've got a few places opened up here. So we've got Sabine, which is the slum doctor. We've got Ort Exchange, which obviously we can just trade in items for, which I think you scrap you can trade in. And we've also got Emphis, which is a street food vendor, which is not bad. This is our main objective right now, because obviously we need to find a doctor, so we will do that first. But bear in mind, we only have 1 dice, so we can only do so much right now. And obviously just having the 2 dice isn't very good, because it's a 50% chance to get a negative effect, unless we can hit something with +1. Next comes the call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You are thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place, but now that you are here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, flickering light strips, the decaying hab block, they have all made the long queue a test of your nerve, but your options are few. Without a supply of stabilizer, this body, your body, will. You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. Look inside. You lean across the door frame and look into the apartment. The entryway is dark, punctuated by the green indicators of stacks of sealed containers. You lean in and see amber light filtering through a far doorway, screened with plastic sheeting beyond which blurred shapes move. The slap of the enforcer's palm against the doorway jerks you awake. Wait your turn, he growls. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway and you catch a distant voice. Send the next one in, Toshiro. The enforcer jerks his head and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and passing through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm lights. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the Bright Market's sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above, and for a moment you are transfixed by the motion. Come, sit, calls a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted figure turned away, placing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flashing across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak. They blink, and they quickly regain their composure. This is the Dr. Sabine. Sabine? I don't know. I guess it would be technically Sabine, but I think it's supposed to be Sabine. Please sit. They gesture on the bed, and then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns, a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye. Remain still, please. Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stay ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. How long have you been on the station? They ask. The scanner still to their eye. A few cycles. They nod. It's good you came to me. They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything. They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. Your body is dying, they say, without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. SNARP doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose to prevent bodies like yours, frames as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping. They built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Still not sure how to say that. It's a weird word. How often in your lifetime are you going to say that word? Probably not a lot. And I've said it twice in the last 20 minutes. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with a stabilizer, one which SNARP remains the sole producer of. They look up. Sound familiar? Yes. Good. That may help. They swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Spin says. You are unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or everything else. Emulations like you, sleepers as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your arm, and SNARP has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something. Anything. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help, they sigh. And you see the darkness under their eyes, hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Toshiro outside. You nod. He works for my benefactor, Yatsugan. They are influential in the low end. They give me the space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers and tense their implants, sew up their wounds. They look away. But Yatsugan has connections. Smugglers from the Starwood Belt. Mercenaries working for the corporations on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance. Sabine sets down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it'll be expensive. But I think we can do it. Thank you. Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by the shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. You nod and leave, Sabine still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face. But the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Sabine is going to help us, which is cool. They're going to help us try and see if we can source our what's it called? Stabilizer that we need. So if I go back here now, sourcing stabilizers. Sabine thinks they can source some stabilizer through Yatsugan, but it's going to take a few cycles. So we need to wait 3 cycles for that. So for the time being, we can just explore. So we're going to go to the ore exchange first. Let's see. So we've got play the exchange. The flow of chits and components in the exchange is complex, but a sharp eye and some tight trades can net you a good margin, which we're not going to do that right now because that's quite risky for us, and we could lose what we have. And then we've got sell components. The ore exchange is always hungry for new hardware to buy, break down, and sell off, and you are happy to supply, which we've got some scrap here, so we can get some money out of that, which is good. There's an old ship mine fabrication stack in the back of the market, but only trusted traders get access to it. So the more I trade here, the more this fills up until it maxes out, and then I'm able to do a special thing here. So what we are going to do is use this now. I know you need this stuff later, but early on, cryos are quite important. So we've got +1 trust trader, and we've got 12 cryo. Awesome. And now I believe the last place we need to go is here. Emphis is busy, his broad face unlit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok, his other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables and some red-flecked dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with bright salad and depositing it in plastic trays. A stack of chits rattles in his apron pocket as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. Approach. You join the queue. It's mostly made of off-duty salvagers, vac suits unzipped and rolled down to expose stained vests, grubby mods, a lattice of scars and tattoos. They discuss the best food on the eye, the best drink, comparing notes on bright market dives, the words cut through with heavy spacer slang. Space slang. Eventually it's your turn, you shuffle to the front. Emphis speaks in a deep, even tone without looking up. First try is for free. Thank you. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks, the earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire, and your skin hardens in its glare. I always find it interesting, the way they express like their kind of like feelings in that, like their physical like reactions to things, which is really interesting. Like their body very much emulates that of a normal human body, even though it's synthetic, which I think is really cool. I know you sleepers. Emphis says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear. A hard life, a lot of stories. He glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes. I know. Tell him a story. You begin to tell him about your journey to the Eye, and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of the confusion, pain, and also the sense of possibility, and its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold and dark of the container, and the endless cycle spent within it. Now it seems, you tell him, like some dream that you once had, but can never forget. You tell him that the Eye excites you and scares you, and you are unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually you tail off, running out of word. He places a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your hand. Next time we can talk some more, he smiles. But next time, you pay. With your life. Just jumps across the thing. He slams a heavy hand against the button on the burner's side and it shuts off. The roar of the flame and its impressive heat fades. Next time then, sleeper. He waves you away and begins to walk. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across his forearms, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. Food was good. We will return. So look, our thing is full now, and we've just discovered drive. Which I'm not sure what that means. Also, we can open up our character sheet now, which is great. So this is just like for upgrades and stuff. You earn obviously earn upgrades here and there. Cool. Get to know my face and put a shit mind. So we got lots of things to do. So that's probably more or less what we can do here. There's also this, which I don't think we can do anything with. You don't have connections, but you do have skills. If you can get a shipbuilder to notice them, you might be in. So I believe this is like, there's a lot of ways of like leaving the space station, which is cool. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. There's definitely like things you can focus on and try and do them specifically, or you can kind of just exist here and just kind of go about your life, which is also quite interesting. But for now, obviously, we're just gonna. Is there anything else over here? No. Okay, that's as far as we can explore for now. So let's see. So we could probably just use this. It's safe. So we should be fine just to do this. Use the last one and then the cycle. You got +5 crowd. It was a -5 crowd, but we got +5 crowd. Because it was a safe one, we don't really lose out on anything. You ate when you hammering away the scrap. Most of it crumbles into worthless rust. You call it a day early before you injure yourself. Alright, so that's it. So that's what we can do. We're out of actions. So now we just head home. Wherever home is, there is. And then we end the cycle. We're full of food, so we don't need to eat for a couple of days now. But our condition is reducing. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, a shifting skeletal ring, surrounds you. For a moment you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colourless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange, and then extensions, as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into the millions of distributed nodes they connect to. You see the station. No, you feel the station, like a web of texture on a smooth black liquid. Observe it. Even though you have no eyes, no sight, you see, feel the map of the station. No, not the map of the station, but the map of its connections. It is a looped cloud with spokes and spires that jut out into space. It is an ingrown thing full of obsolete loops and severed pathways. It is a system, a map, and a territory all at once. You notice a tugging feeling pulling at you insistently, as if it were a small child. Somehow it is pulling in two directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts down. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second, and you feel it waiting there, the station splayed out across your mind. A storm of connective nodes, waiting to be explored, and then it is gone. How very mysterious. So, because our condition is getting worse, we only have 3 dice this day. So, we can only do 3 actions, basically. We can do 4 before. Well, obviously, certain actions don't require you to use the dice, but dice actions, specifically, require you to do that. So, this has gone up by a tick, this has gone up by a tick, this has gone up by a tick, and this has gone up by a tick. So, progress is happening. But we lost 2 of these for the first cycle. So, what we'll probably end up doing is going into here, and then we'll probably just keep using this risky one. So that's a neutral. It's 50% neutral if it's 10%. So start action. And what I like to do on these kind of earlier ones is very much get a lot of money going to people. So we got 20 from that, which is pretty nice. And now we can get progress on this as well. So I'm going to use another one here. See if we can get some salvage maybe. No salvage, we got 50. So I am going to leave that there for now because I don't want to use this. This puts me up to 4, but I think this is still a bit risk with that. So we will leave. What else can we do over here? I guess we could try this, but it's 20% chance to be negative, and also it has the chance of messing with it as well. This is just 50% negative as well because it's a -1. Excuse me. So we could order more, but we don't need to right now. We kind of want to be careful with what we're spending, purely so, you know, we don't accidentally waste all of our credits when we need them. Oh, cryo, sorry. Oh, sorry, it's a cryptocurrency called cryo. Stored in airwalled sticks of memory known as chits. So chits and cryo is the same thing. They're both money, it's just chits are a form of cryo. So I guess we probably just work some more and then call it a day, right? Because we can't do too much yet. We need to wait for things to progress a little. If I do this, 25% chance to be negative. Yeah, for it. Why not? Hey, plus 15. So we've got 3 more of these left. And then that's pretty much it for the day. There was a exchange thing, wasn't there? Can I buy anything here? No. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, we've got a little bit of credits here, so we can, we're probably good for now. So we'll end this cycle as well. And then this following day, we'll probably eat something. So there's only 15 cryo. Again, the skull of the ring, the station fills your mind. It sparkles with glittering lights, like stars reflected in a winter lake. It's clearer and crisper than before. The threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads, you see bright shapes, caches of shimmering light beneath transparent crystal forms. You follow the path of the thread across the ring, through these forms, then leap off into the void. You begin to understand. These are nodes and connections, a map of information, of communication. There are so many layers, so many loops, that it seems almost impossible to parse. But you begin to try. We will focus on the threads. There are more threads than you can count. You choose one that passes nearby and approach it. As you inspect it, you understand why you instinctively chose the word thread when you first saw them. They are not single lines, but rough, fuzzy things woven from data strings of all kinds. The threads are nodes, passages and puzzle boxes. One leads to another. There is so much here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow the paths and open the boxes. Look out across the ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. But then, that insistent tugging again, pulling at you. You look down again and see 2 lines, 2 threads pulling in different directions, as if you were tied around you. They were tied around you. Let's do that first. The first thread leads out away from the station into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They are in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle. So that is probably going to be someone come and get us to make sure we're either dead or to come get us if we're not, right? From the corporation. The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it, and this time you see something. A sphere shimmering above a strange angular body. A pulse shoots out from it, passing over you like a torch beam. Testing you. Tasting you. Interesting. You open your eyes. Time is short. So we got 2 6s this time. Huge! The cloud. Something has changed inside you. You can now access the data cloud of the eye, a network of decaying protocols and data caches. While there you can use dice and items to access systems and extract data. But be careful. These networks are old and strange. Click the I button at the top of the screen to toggle this view on and off. So yeah, so we've got this kind of weird, like, view of everything. I don't actually remember how this works fully, but we'll figure it out. So yeah, so we get these kind of keys, right? These ciphers, which we can use to kind of unlock stuff. So these, it's not a chance that you have to match this, right? If you have a +1 or +2 modifier in the interface skill, you'll be given more possible dice to match. You can use any dice that matches the dice displayed. Once unlocked, the data can be extracted. So yeah, so if I had a plus in this, it would probably give me more range to pick from, but I can't do this because I do not have the correct dice. So look, let's see what this one is. We'll do this one. This is a 1, so we need a 1 for that. This is a 2. This is probably like a key one, yeah. The circles you need to keep like proper keys for. Keynote. This needs the 3. Got this one, which needs a 2. A lot of these are quite low. That needs a 1. So this is basically just another way to use your dice up. If you've got like quite low ones, you can use them here, which is nice. And that's about as far as we can go. So yeah, so we can't do any of those yet because we rolled quite high for this one, but that's fine. So what we are going to do is, why has this got a cycle thing on it? Oh, someone out there is tracking you, following your trail. So yeah, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I guess 8, yeah. 4, 8, yeah. So we've got 8 cycles until this guy shows up. Unless they get her sooner for whatever reason. What was it again? It's a shipbuilder. We could do this. As a newcomer, you can only gain favor by grabbing a load of materials and asking the nearest yard hand where to take them. And then there's this. This is danger as well, but we do have a 6, so we could roll that. I think we're good for. I think we're good for money in that at the moment. So I'm gonna do this and see what we get from that. So +2 to yard hand and +1 energy. Very nice. So they give us 2 here, so that's good. Alright, we'll leave this for now. Cool. What was the other one here? This thing. This is dangerous steel dock plans. I think we'll do that. Gates of the road doesn't just mean new places with it means keep your eye. Yeah, we'll do this as well. Nice! But also put us on the watch list as well. Which is less good. As you slip through the crowd towards the passages of the rotunda, a voice calls after you. Hey, sleeper. Keep walking. You keep your head down and cut through a group of spaces on your way towards the exit. Stop! Comes the shout from behind you. Okay. So Haven are after us now. Which we don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, right? But judging by the fact that it was a negative thing to get them on the watch list anyway, so do we stop and talk to whoever this is, or do we run? I think we'll stop for now. We'll try and be civil. The impact knocks you to the cold floor. You roll dazed and in pain. Scratching the metal. When you turn onto your back, a Havener's guard stands over you, a compact black weapon in his hand. Don't run, he smokes. It hurts, Celeste. Explain. You start to reply, but he holds up a hand. I don't want to hear it. You newcomers are all the same. He reaches back into a pocket of his tactical vest. I suppose you thought you were free, huh? No law, no corpse, no rules? He laughs. The thing is, you took something that doesn't belong to you. He hooks together a pair of restraints. It belongs to us. I think one of you, things, would have more respect for property. After all, isn't that all you are? A piece of corporate property that's got itself lost. This guy sucks. He reaches down to put you on the restraints. Now, we own you. Ooh, I don't like this guy. I want to resist. Resist. You try to stumble to your feet, but you still feel weak from whatever he hit you with, and he easily twists your reaching arm and forces you back down to the floor. Another voice suddenly joins his. You can't quite make it out, but the officer drops you onto the hard floor. You struggle against the restraints, and then they release, and you're being held to your feet, dusted down, arranged. Apologies. Feng's wonky smile greets you. Then he turns back to the officer. You are done here, Kiri. Don't touch this one again. So we have now met Feng, who is a Haven Systems engineer. Cool. The officer smiles, shakes his head. You piece of shit, Feng. He spits. One cycle, I swear. He trails off to incoherent muttering and stalks back up to the crowd. Feng's smile fades. Shall we? He gestures to the tunnel. Yeah, we'll go with him. If I remember, this guy's pretty chill. So, well, I mean, he did just save us from the police, space police. So, you walk together out of the bright rotunda into the flickering light of the tunnel. Good. Security's jurisdiction is a little fuzzy, but they will protect the property with a certain zeal. Who was that asshole? I don't care. I'm good. Glad to hear it. Believe it or not, we don't make a habit of wrapping up new villains. He nudges you to turn at a junction. Havenage. We're all one dysfunctional family. Feng puts an arm around you. I'm not part of the security branch, though. Don't worry. I'm my systems. Havenage. Think of us as an administrative association for the Lower Eye. Depending on who you talk to, we either emerged as a response to or a continuation of Endry Erlin's original union. He smiles. Personally, I avoid the topic. He stops you in a quiet passage. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I saw you lift those plans, and well, I know little about you sleepers. I have a small proposition for you. Casts around. This is not the place for it. I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or two to prepare. Then when you're settled, stop by. He lowers his voice and gives you a dark look. In truth, I need you. If what they say is true about you sleepers, well, there's work to be done. He pats you on the back, his voice brightens, dark look gone. Stay clean, sleeper. I won't always be watching you. He walks off down the dark passage, raising a hand in farewell. We have made a friend. And that is pretty cool. Oh, we've got, what's this? We've got the overlooked bar. And we've got the sealed dock. And then we've also got this over here, the Ankita. Stranded mercenary. Let's have a chat with him. Hey you, want to earn a chip? Ankita stands beside a large pile of tied together hull plates. She stretches out her back, her shoulders bulging beneath her flight suit. She buff. Sure. You cross the docking concourse as she begins to split the plating into two bundles. What is it with this place? She asks as she lashes the massive plates together. Everyone wants their cut. She straightens up. To be fair, she's talking shit here. She was the one that offered, okay? She was the one that offered some stuff. She straightens up to opposing height, her armor plates creaking and looks up and down. Don't try anything, alright? She taps the button beside her. I don't want to have to put anyone else down today. One think of it. Good. Look, I'm not usually, let's just say my temper's been a little short lately. Ankita hoists one bundle of plating onto her shoulder. Come on then, enough chat. You've got to earn that shit. You struggle to shoulder the plates, but you do eventually. Ankita gives you a look, ships this way. As she sets off down a gantry at impressive speed, as you catch up to her, she turns down a passage, pushing through a small crowd of stevedores. Stevedores? Stevedores? Stevedores. No idea. What's all this for? Oh, this. She nods at the plates in her back. I'm building a tree house. She gives you another look, another of her looks. I imagine it's just like... It's for the ambergris. Ambergris. That cutter you might have seen sitting silently out there. She rapidly turns around at the corner as you trail behind. She got cut up pretty bad on her last job, and I had to moor up here for a spell. But since then, it's only gotten worse. Someone got in and sliced the core from her ship mind, so now she's gone dark. She shifts the panel on her shoulder. The upshot is that I'm short one ship mind with a ton of repairs to do, and the rest of the crew signed off the moment they got wind I'd be stranded. So yeah, it's been a time. Sorry to hear it. Yeah, I've seen worse, but I'm bleeding chits in every circle here, so I need to get off, and fast. Ankita swings the plates from her back, almost knocking you off the process. This is me. She holds the second bundle off your shoulder. You're the first person I met here who might actually be considered helpful. She pauses, chewing her bottom lip. Look, you want to help? Come see me. I need a hand putting Amber back together, and you don't seem like the type to try anything stupid. Because I am stupid, that's the thing. She pauses the bundles of plates. Oh, sorry, she passes the bundle of plates through the ambergris's outer lock and then turns back. Just don't go spreading all this around. Nikita throws you a couple chins. Consider it a bonus for not trying to grift me. She gives you a parting nod and ducks through the doorway. Alright, get out of here, she calls back. And the lock slams shut. So we've got a plus drive. There's a new drive discovered. Fantastic. So, yeah, so that's another thing we can do. I believe for this we can do this. Because we need to upgrade interface. I think. Yeah, skill upgrade required. And then we've got the ammo repairs, which don't repair. This is just if you can rewind, we can repair. Yeah, so this is just to help with actually repairing. But I am going to leave it there because the hour that I said I was going to do is up. So we're just going to leave this here. Yeah, I'll definitely play more of this. This is a nice little kind of chill, just talk through it kind of game. So it's really good to do for this kind of thing. And hopefully the webcam setup's really nice as well. I tried to set up with something just a little bit nicer. I'll probably have a mess around with it and probably try and do something a little bit different with it. Because I'm just using stuff I found for now. And I tried to make sure I kept the watermark in for the person who created the GIF for the background and stuff. But yeah, this is something I want to do more of and just mess around with like layouts and everything and just try and find something that looks nice and works. As I said, I spent like an hour making some other stuff work, and I've got a plan for something else for like the intro screen and everything, which is really going to be quite fun. So I will be working on that at some point. But yeah, anyway, thanks for stopping by if you did. Thanks for watching. I'm going to leave you here. We may do some more streams for the rest of the week. We may even do one later tonight with everyone. Let's hope. But that's just me being like, optimistic. If people don't want to do it, that's fine. Obviously, I'm not going to force them. But now that I know that I can stream and also do the cloud streams, it's all good. But yeah, anyway, gonna end it there.